if God gives us a gift, what is the gift that God gives us? We're going to think about that today on Now What Devotion here at Trinity Lutheran in Cyrus. So it is probably going to be one of the last warm days of the year here at church here in Cyrus. Winter's coming. And we just got, I bet you can see it here, we just started putting up our Christmas lights, and we're starting to think about that kind of stuff. And I was just doing a project with the junior high kids. We're going to start thinking about some gifts that we can donate to the Someplace Safe, not to the thrift store, but to the actual Someplace Safe house over in Stevens County, and think about ways that we can help out there. So we're going to be rounding up gifts that teenagers and kids would like and that kind of thing. And we have this text this week that is all about what are gifts that, what does it mean when God gives us something? What do we do with it? And to start, I want to tell you it's a challenging parable, and it's a parable that is rife for misinterpretation, and you need to be cautious about that, because this is not a parable that is, we are in the book of Matthew 25. It's the second parable in the book. It is the parable of the talents, okay? This is not a parable that is about return on investment, okay? If it was about that, we'd be hearing a different story. It's not. In fact, repeatedly, both in this and in Luke's version of this parable and in other parables, Jesus challenges that we are actually capable of generating return, that rather God is already doing things and we get to participate. And in this parable, we're going to hear that again. But I'm thinking about gifts that are given. And of course, I'm here at the church building today, and in some ways, the building itself is a gift we've been given. Now, I definitely don't always think of a church building as a gift, and I'm sure some of you have had to do projects and work here, and it doesn't always feel like a gift. Sometimes it feels like a burden that we've got to keep track of, you know? But we do. We take care of it, and we do our best, and often I'm here in times of day when you all aren't, and I get to see the beautiful sunlight coming in through the windows, and I get to enjoy this house of worship for God. I didn't used to think of it that way when I was younger. I used to think of churches as sort of, I don't know, they were sort of a stuffy place for grown-ups, but now it's a place where we pray for all people. Now it's a place where I have memories of all of you and of all the funerals and weddings and baptisms and all the things that we've done here over the years. I think of it differently. It's a gift for future generations. We recently had a gift come in from the estate of one of our former members, and we're thinking about what to do with it. We've got a lot of kids right now, so we're starting to think about what we're going to do over here in our Sunday school space, and I think we'll probably end up fixing it up a little bit. You can see we've got a few pews set up over here, and we've got some classrooms where kids can do things, but, you know, we could use little chairs and tables, and it's probably time for a paint job and just to get it, to be good stewards of it, right? To take good care of it. Now, if we don't do that, we'll still have kids, and they'll still learn about God, and their parents will still know that we love them and care for them here. If we didn't fix up our sanctuary and we didn't always have a church building, we would still meet together and still be the church of God. Like, that's not going to change whether or not we have a building, right? If you ask the question, what is the gift that God gives us? In this parable where the master is going to leave and he's going to be gone for a while, and he gives each of his servants, he gives them something to take care of. Now, this time it's a gift of money. And he says, go trade with it. And they do. And when he comes back, each of them has made the same amount that he gave them. So one who gave 5, they made 5. One who he gave 2, he made 2. But one of the people, and this is interesting, you need to read it carefully here. He goes, I knew that you were basically a hard taskmaster, a scary boss, somebody that I did not trust. So I just buried it in a hole. But here's your money back. And the figure who is the God figure in this goes, you didn't even trust me enough to just give it to some bankers? You thought I was so concerned about profits that you didn't even do anything? I gave you a gift. Now, here's the thing. It's very clear from God what the gift that God gives is. It's himself. I think about that a lot. Like, what is my job that I'm supposed to do on a Sunday or when I'm with people? What is it that I give them? Do I give them right information, good knowledge? Do I teach them? Well, I don't know. I sometimes think that the most important thing that I can give folks who participate in our congregation is just me. I care. I can give them, more importantly, the gospel, Jesus. So I give of my heart and I give of the gospel, and then I try to let the Spirit do the work. And you all do the same thing. Jesus says he is going to give himself completely for all humanity. God so loved the world that he gave his only son, right? And the thing that gets most frustrated, that gets the master most frustrated in this parable, isn't that the person didn't have returns. It's that they didn't even trust the master enough to even try. Not about returns. What is the currency that Jesus is always talking about? There's only one currency, and it is trust on the human side and Jesus on the divine side. Jesus gives us a gift of the Spirit and says, trust me, go out and try something, do something with it. And he's not worried about the returns because ultimately God's mission is being accomplished by God. We get to participate, but we're not contingent on God's mission. God's mission is going to get done. So that leaves the question for you. What has God given you, and what are you going to do with it? I'm Pastor Chris here at Trinity in Cyrus, signing off for now.